And here we go. Welcome to the Brother Speak podcast. This is Brother Speak. If this is your first time listening, thank you for checking me out. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about it's all about control in the Black community. I've been listening to a lot of stuff in the Black manosphere. You hear the Black women talking about Black men talking about Black women. You hear these arguments about submission and what Black men should be doing for Black women and what Black women should be doing for Black men. And when you boil it all down, they're really talking about the same thing. It's about control. Let's start from the men's side, especially in particularly the Black manosphere. You always hearing about submission. The women should listen to us, do what we say. We're the leaders of the community, follow us. The funny thing is, you don't hear too much of what they're going to do for the women. It's always just follow the man regardless. Follow his program regardless. Don't say anything, don't do anything. It's hilarious. So let's go to the women. Talking about, well, he got to be six figures. He got to listen to me, and he got to take me as I am. He's got to be entertaining. Got to know how to talk to me. All these things. But when you boil it right down, they're talking about the same thing. You hear the women like, well, I make my own money. I don't have to depend on no man. That I run the stuff in my house. And you see the men talking about the same thing. They run their stuff, trying to get this money. But when you boil it down, they're talking about one thing: control. See, the Black community, unfortunately, we don't have control of our country. That's just a fact. I mean, you see the recent killings of Black men. I mean, these dudes are getting shot in the back. They're doing now, they could be doing something criminal, could be something not. But either way, they still getting shot dead more often recently than their white counterparts. And you can see that it's it's affecting their mindset. Then you see the women, you know, talk about how they're being mistreated and, you know, they don't feel protected. They should come and that men should come and defend them, even though they're doing some of the stupidest shit. At the end of the day, it's about control. Because we're black people are not in control of anything in this society, that they want to control each other. Because they can't control that uh the white society. They can't control the government. They can't control the state. They can't even control their own city. And if you want to really break it down, they can't even control their own neighborhood. They got dangerous individuals in their own neighborhood, but they can't do nothing about it. So they get on YouTube and they talk about each other with black man are weak and pathetic, they being dominated. But even if he was to do exactly what they said, get the six figures, build a house, build a neighborhood, they will still find a way to take from him and try to get over on him. Because again, it's about control. And that's the same with the black men on YouTube. That woman could be perfect. That woman could be sweet, kind, submissive, but they will try to take advantage of her too. Cheat on her, take her money, all kinds of stuff. Because see, the thing of it is, it's about control. They want to control somebody. Because let's look at it. Not in control of the job, not in control of the neighborhood, not in control of the nation, not in control of society. They're so powerless that in order to feel powerful, they use whatever means, money, penis, vagina. I mean, you hear the WAP song. What is basically you break down the WAP song? It's about women controlling guys with their vagina. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Women controlling guys with their vagina. I mean, here Cardi B song is like part of the song. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me show you how I got this ring. And how she got that ring is by her vagina. It's controlling the guy to spend his money on her using her vagina. And now you're talking about the guys of being a high value man is basically using his money to control that woman. Or you talk about guys who talk about how they're so good in the bedroom, I can get all these chicks. It's basically saying I control women with my penis. Or I control them with my money because they need me. You talking about people going to these other countries, getting these women from other countries, basically using their money to control that woman because she has less than. Or you got black women who was making all this money and still getting bum niggas, homosexuals, thug niggas, because it's a means of controlling them. See, I got the leverage because I have the money and the vagina. But like I said, you boil it down, a lot of these people want control because they've never had control in their lives. They come from broken families. Basically, anybody doing anything to them, and they have no recourse. And so now they're using if they you see the women using their education, using their money to dominate the men in their lives. Because look, even a woman who's on Section 8, she's still getting a bum ass nigga. Why? Because she doesn't need his money. She just wants to control him. Why do you think they have dudes laid up in the house playing video games? Uh, he's driving her car. He's eating her food. She's giving him an allowance like he's a boy. It's all about control. Same with these guys. They're talking about they're using their money, their resources to control women. She does what he say, what he wants to do is his program. It's all about control. You had the women talking about protection, protect all black women. It's nothing about protection. It's about control. They're controlling these guys to be their attack dogs when someone wrongs them in some way, may or may not be their fault, but they want to send them like an attack dog to go attack whoever. It's all about control. We want to control each other, and then we want to one up each other. Talk about the pump and dump um, thing that's going on that we talk about. It's all about control. Think about it. These guys don't want to get hurt. They don't want to get taken to court and getting raped by the system. So they just pump and dump. They have sex with a chicken and dump her at their earliest convenience because they want to control the situation. You see the women getting pregnant by these guys. Not because they want to be with the guy, because they want to control the guy. And having that baby isn't control. You can take him to child support. You can keep him from having access to his kids. You can have him from not getting a job, not leaving the country because he's on child support. You can't do that. And you can get his money without even have to deal with him. That's control. Let's take it even further. And you hear about pro blacks talking about how certain black men need to come together. The educated brothers, the well established brothers come back to the community to help them. But you never hear what they're going to do for those educated black men. What are they going to do for them? How do they benefit? It's all about control, controlling their resources, controlling their their results for the benefit of the community, but the community doesn't benefit them. You never hear it. See, because we as black people are not, and I'm black, so I mean, let me Let me put the camera on, show y'all. I'm black. So we talk about this control. It's about controlling people for their own benefit. It's not about cooperation. It's not about building each other up. We help each other so we can grow. It's about that particular person grow. There's no unity because when people talk about unity, it's not for the benefit of the person. It's for the benefit of the community. But the person gets left out in the mix. And we have a culture of one upping each other. I mean, black men, when trying to do business with black men, they're not looking to do business at least honorably. They're looking at how can I get over. Now, not always the case. I mean, I bought me a Nintendo Switch today. It was version one, but it's unpatched. And the guy was showing me, hey, you can you could download all these different games on it, and he was doing fair business. That's what we should be doing. And look, just call me anytime you have a problem. That's business. It's not getting over. But by and large, we don't do that in the black community. We don't do business the right way. We're looking for a way to get over on each other. And you look at Black Lives Matter, how the LGBTQ community has taken over. It's means of getting over using black lives being taken away by the cops as a tool to get themselves over. It's all about control and getting over. It's not about benefiting the community. The need to be the HNIC, the head nigger in charge. And this is not just men, it's women too. Because we're so afraid of being taken advantage of. We're so afraid of being used that we rather be the victimizer than being the victim. You have women going on dates, taking these good people, the good guys, have them taking them on dates, eating food from them, and then going to screw some other guy. It's all about control, taking advantage of someone's good nature. You have dudes taking advantage of women, saying they're gonna be in a relationship, but after they have their way with them, either sexually or financially, they move on. Control and victimizing someone. And unfortunately, the black community, this is what we tend to do because we are powerless people. We don't try to obtain power. And to attain power, we have to work together as a collective. But the problem with working as a collective, we don't trust each other. We're always looking for someone to screw us over. because at the end of the day, we don't vet. We don't take the time to analyze each other properly. And we don't take the time to properly protect ourselves so we have the time to analyze. We're so scared of someone taking advantage of us that we either avoid them on top altogether, or we look at ways to screw them over before they screw us over. Elementary Curry had was talking about manipulative time wasters. And he said the one thing he was saying about his mode one is to identify the time wasters. Because if you waste time with them, they're eventually going to try to manipulate you and control you. Now, some guys was like, oh, that's bullshit. But let's keep it honest. How many times you try to run game on a female or a female on a guy and you get played? That's And it's not just women who manipulate time, waste men too. She thinking she's having him wait the 90 days while she's riding other penises. What she don't understand, he's using that time to get other women. She thinks she's manipulating him, he's manipulating her. And he's just buying his time till the day that you she gives it up. Then he dumps her anyway. There was I remember this one YouTube video. There was a lady. I'm trying to think of this lady name. She was on a radio show. She was complaining. She was talking about, she was dating this guy for 5 months. And he had said, he don't have sex before marriage. Now, he was taking her on dates, spending a good amount of money on her, and she was enjoying it. Now, and then one day they went to Las Vegas. They got a little drunk and decided to have sex because, liquor makes you do more things than you should. He took off his clothes, found out that he wasn't really packing like she thought he was. And she, after the trip, came back, she dumped him. Pump and dump. Now she was mad at him because she was saying he wasted her time because he didn't have the right package for her. And she was getting on his case. But I was like, that was her fault. One, knowing that she wanted to know if he can provide in the bedroom, and she wasn't really interested in marriage. She was trying to control the narrative on him, taking her out on dates, enjoying his non-sexual companionship, just using his money and time, knowing that she wanted to know if he could put it down in the bedroom. So just wasting his time. But at the same token, he was wasting her time because In that while he had showed pictures of his penis. Now he probably did some close up pictures, but at the end of the day, he was manipulating her into being around him. See how that works? How you're trying to control people and they controlling you? So she wasted 5 months. He wasted 5 months. She mad at him, but see, the thing is, she can go out there and women will side with her. But see, the guys were siding with him because you wasting time. You wasted both. Y'all both wasting time. See how that works? This is how relationship works in the black community. Well, you can say the other communities as well. But the thing of it is that she was focused on what he can do in the bedroom. Should have put that out on Jump Street. Yeah, can't talk right now. He put his stuff on Jump Street, but then he wavered. See how that when you're not firm on what you believe in, how you can get manipulated and people can control that situation. So everybody's getting used and nobody wants to take accountability. This is what we have out here. We have people trying to use people, control people to keep from being hurt, but ultimately hurting themselves anyway. Same with the black community. We're trying to control each other so much that we're getting used up and we're going 10, 20, 30 years of doing this. And then by the time we actually find the right person, we're so burnt out that we're no good to anybody. And then we ended up old and alone. See, the thing about it with me, when I hear all these talk about submission and what men should be doing to women, they should be providing this lifestyle for women and all kinds of stuff. I don't look at right now. I look at the end. And I've seen the end multiple times of these type of people. And it's not pretty. They end up dead, either or and they either end up dead in their house, found 2, 3 days later, buried in a ditch. I mean, buried in an unknown plot by the state. They end up dead in a nursing home, nobody around. They end up dead in the ditch. They end up dead somewhere without nobody around, no one to care. Now, women, usually they have someone, maybe a son or a daughter that care, but that's starting to fade because you got a crop of people, guys right now that don't care nothing about these women like that. So that whole being by end up dead by yourself, or for some of these women, that's a reality. They just don't see it yet, but that's going to be their reality. So you can try to control people all you want, but the end result is going to be you're going to be old and alone. And you better hope that someone takes care of you. Or not. And you be dead and found, and they put you in a little plot. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares. You've been spent so much time trying to control people that you burn any connection that you might could have had. That's a sad way to go out. But the way we're going, that's going to be a lot of people's reality. Now, this ain't to scare people. I'm not with the scare tactics. I'm just I'm just telling you what can and will happen. I've seen it. So the choices is really up to y'all. Do you want to help people, make connections, or not? Choice is yours, but as long as you understand the ending, it is what it is. And that's it for the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Again, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And y'all have a good one.